Tommy Speer, currently trains under us on a regular basis. He is a farm boy, as his nickname, his fighting nickname implies. And basically, he's a farm kid, hard worker, very, very good athlete, great morals. This guy shows up, trains, has never complained. He's one of the few guys that I was never able to break in training. This guy has never broken in training. He always gives me more and more.
The reason I farm, I guess I don't really know any other way of life. I was born into it. We can milk about 100. Right now we're milking around 120 cows, and we can get them done. We were done milking in probably an hour and a half. The bad part about it, you got to kneel down. You're level with the cows, so you got to kneel down a lot to milk them, so it beats up on your knees after a while, but I've never been the one to complain about that. So I'd much rather take the beating and hurry up and get done after a while, 'cause, work's great, but there's a lot more other fun things to do, like training for MMA.
A once a day thing for the cows, or twice a day?
Twice a day. We milk about 4:30 in the morning and 4:30 in the afternoon. And after the cow gets milked, the milk goes up to the milker, and it comes to the pipeline and goes right into this tank right here. So all the milkers, after they get done, once we get done milking, they get brought in here for sanitizing. They get cleaned with through a couple cycles of one cycle is just a rinse. That thing's right back here. This is what helps sanitize everything. Throws water, and there's cups right here that we screw in. One is for acid and one is for detergent. When I first got into fighting, I went to, this is back in early 05, and I went and watched a show, and it was a very small crowd, and this is was getting big in Minnesota back in 2005, and I went to the show, and the first thing I said, I don't think I could do this. They announce your name, and you walk out to this music and that kind of stuff, and I was like, wow, that's singling you out. That's like spotlight stuff. What I've always wanted. Like when I played football, I wanted to be in the spotlight. I wanted to be the guy. I just want to be a guy on the team that rode along with everybody. I wanted to be in front of the pack. I wanted to be a leader. It's the spotlight. Nobody else is going to get credit for something you do, because not that I should be dwelling over anything like that, but in high school football, I wasn't the guy that scored touchdowns. I was a fullback and a linebacker, and I made tackles, and I knocked people over. For my friend, the tailback, to score all the touchdowns, and he got the girls, and I got credit from all the old timers that noticed that kind of stuff. So Mario Roberto, he's a coach and a training partner. He is, I can use him right there. Just he can do everything. He can simulate other fighters, and he's an elite grappler. Body trim and workout, long distance running in the morning, and the morning practice in the gym, you kind of try to focus on technique, and then at night, you do your sparring. So you're looking at, trying to get, 2 to 3 workouts a day. And it's nice when you don't have a fight coming up to just focus on not the intense part of it, but the technical part of it that I think a lot of people that are up and coming lack. They need to be taught that, to slow things down. Because everybody thinks fighting, let's get in the gym and kick the crap out of everybody. So that's what it's very enjoyable for me to come here and when I don't have a fight coming up, and just relax and learn things. I learned what it was like to be a full-time fighter. Out there, I left the farm for 6 weeks, and I learned what it was like to go through intense test training, and that's all you did. That was like my first taste of that. Learned techniques on how to cut weight was a big one. Different techniques. Mark Fiore was actually the guy that I learned the most from. Do I think I can make it back to the UFC? As of right now, I do. I feel that I feel like I belong there. It's just it's a bit it's a business too. With my manager and talking about it, it's really tough to get into right now because of the WEC merger. They're cutting guys like crazy. They're really not taking on anybody, but they're cutting guys.
Talk about your Ultimate Fighter opponents.
War Machine, I beat him. He's, out of all 3 fights, War Machine, Ben Saunders, and George Soteropoulos. If I fought all 3 of those over again, that War Machine, he's gonna be the toughest one every time. He's nicknamed War Machine. He legally changed it to War Machine now. So Saunders, I think I grinded him out every time. And Soteropoulos, I mean, I really didn't care for him because I thought he was kind of a jerk out there. He was cool with me right away, but after I beat him, he was kind of a jerk, kind of a jerk. I ended up poking him in the eye in that semifinal match, but that was me just trying to get a hold of him. He was fighting me like a girl for the badass that he was supposed to be in, an intense fighter, and he was going to come at me. He just kept running away, and he's lucky I didn't leave my fist closed on that, because what I was trying to do is I was trying to punch by his head and pull him in because I wanted to clinch with him, but he just kept on running away. I mean, he's just lucky I didn't leave my hand closed, else I would have knocked him out with that punch, so it really don't matter.
Who would you like to fight again?
The Mac Danzig. That's the guy that drives me. that's the one fight I want back. I'm sure he took about 3 months to get ready for that fight. I not knowing what it took to be a professional athlete, and it was a fault. It was harvest time. The fight was in the beginning of December. I was training, but I took full-time training. I took 2.5 weeks to get ready for it. So, but yeah, that's right when I think of that one. Yeah, that's one that drives me. Really, I still have to do some homework on him, but I'm definitely better at submissions than him. My grappling, my stand-up's probably a little more crisp than his. His is probably a little more wild. And wrestling, I think I got him edged on that too. And cardio, I'm definitely gonna have him edged on that. There ain't too many times somebody's gonna be in better shape than I am. And that comes with mental toughness also. I can go through I feel like I can go through a terrible round, and be really tired, but I'm not going to show it,
He is well, so when we go to the ground, breathing heavy, Tommy. He's breathing real heavy. Breathing really heavy. Right hand high. Very good.
Tommy Speer faced Tat Romero at the Target Center in July. The fight went back and forth for 3 5-minute rounds.
And a blind. Line. That's line. Thorough. There we go. Elbow. Active. 5 seconds. Big drop.
The fight ended up going to the judges' cards. Tommy took a close decision.